Mac Partners. 10 years of partnering for success.
Back in 2014, started with the requirements of the mining industry to save cost. Cost was a big issue, and at the same time, quality of service didn't have to reduce. So we started business with that mindset in mind to provide agile and cost-effective services to our mining companies who we consider as our partners. Being an entirely local company, we needed also to beef ourselves up with international standards. So we had a few partners that along the line have come on board to support what we do.
Currently, we happen to be one of the, if the most key contractor and on the Obuasi redevelopment project, phase 3. We've been on it for over a year now, and we have a lot of our technical and artisan level personnel playing key roles in delivering this project.
And also a preferred partner for international companies who want to service the market in West Africa. We are poised for business.
We've signed a contract with Nguvu Mining, mostly in the most difficult areas, difficult to access and difficult to maneuver jobs.
No mining support service company have ever been the headline sponsor for this expo. As part of our 10-year celebration, we as a company decided to sponsor Wampex this year.
We operate with overseas, and the next 10 years we believe will be even greater.
Mac Partners. 10 years of partnering for success.
In the heart of Africa lies a nation filled with promise and prosperity. This is Ghana, a land of opportunity and potential. Standing as a pillar of progress and prosperity within this land is Newmont, the world's leading gold company and producer of copper, and Ghana's largest gold producer, with a purpose to create value and improve lives through sustainable and responsible mining. Since its inception in 2006, Newmont's operations in Ghana have contributed immensely to national economic growth, fostered local community development, championed environmental stewardship, and have remained an industry leader in responsible gold mining. Together, Newmont's operations in Ghana employ close to 7,000 Ghanaians, directly and indirectly through contractors, touching the livelihoods of several thousands of others down the line. Newmont's statutory payments to the government of Ghana, which includes tax, royalties, levies and fees, was $356.2 million for 2023 alone. But the company's impact goes beyond the direct financial payments and includes a substantial investment in people and infrastructure, thus creating avenues and opportunities for future development and prosperity. In 2023, Newmont contributed $7.25 million to its development foundations in Achim and Ahafo, in addition to a $9.1 million contribution towards a road infrastructure in Ahafo, a $4 million investment in a processing facility in Ahafo, and several other major investments across its operations. Newmont works with over 740 Ghanaian businesses in its supply chain and has spent more than $580 million on local purchases in 2023. This has strengthened the capacity of local Ghanaian businesses, increased employment opportunities, and boosted the local economy. Newmont's industry-leading performance in sustainable and responsible mining, as well as contribution to local and national development, have been duly recognized, earning the company several industry and national awards. At the 2023 Ghana Mining Industry Awards, the Achim Mine was honored as the Mining Company of the Year. At the event, both the Achim and Ahafo mines won top industry awards in occupational health and safety, innovation, diversity and inclusion, and environmental management. The Ghana Investment Promotion Center also adjudged Newmont's Ahafo South mine the #1 company in Ghana and the first ranked company in the extractive sector in the 2023 Ghana Club 100 Awards. With dedication to sustainability,
water, and we'll be and I'll be one of the MCs for today.
And my name is Winston Amwa. I'm on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM, and I'll be doing this with Shamima.
Right, thank you. So I'm going to invite all of us to do a very quick networking session. Please rise up, with your kind indulgence. Please get up and discover 3 people that you don't know. And it doesn't have to be somebody you are sitting next to, please. So get up. Don't do inbreeding, okay? We want cross-fertilization of ideas. So move away from your seat. Discover 3 people that you don't know. You're going to ask them of their name, where they're coming from, and what they do. And one thing that they are looking forward to from the 3 days conference. Please feel free to move around. Please feel free to move around. Thank you very much.
and environmental stewardship, Newmont is safeguarding Ghana. In the heart of Africa lies a nation filled with promise and prosperity. This is Ghana, a land of opportunity and potential. Standing as a pillar of progress and prosperity within this land is Newmont, the world's leading gold company and producer of copper, and Ghana's largest gold producer, with a purpose to create value and improve lives through sustainable and responsible mining. Since its inception in 2006, Newmont's operations in Ghana have contributed immensely to national economic growth, fostered local community development, championed environmental stewardship, and have remained an industry leader in responsible gold mining. Together, Newmont's operations in Ghana employ close to 7,000 Ghanaians, directly and indirectly through contractors, touching the livelihoods of several thousands of others down the line. Newmont's statutory payments to the government of Ghana, which includes tax, royalties, levies and fees, was $356.2 million for 2023 alone. But the company's impact goes beyond the direct financial payments and includes a substantial investment in people and infrastructure, thus creating avenues and opportunities for future development and prosperity. In 2023, Newmont contributed $7.25 million to its development foundations in Achim and Ahafo, in addition to a $9.1 million contribution towards a road infrastructure.
MAC Partners. 10 years of partnering for success.
Back in 2014, started with the requirements of the mining industry to save cost. Cost was a big issue, and at the same time, quality of service didn't have to replace. So we started business with that mindset in mind to provide agile and cost-effective services to our mining companies who we consider as our partners. Being an entirely local company, we needed also to beef ourselves up with international standards. So we had a few partners that along the line have come on board to support what we do.
Currently, we happen to be one of the, if not most key contractor and on the Obuasi redevelopment project, phase 3. We've been on it for over a year now, and we have a lot of our technical and artisan level personnel playing key roles in delivering this project.
10 years, we want to see ourselves as the trusted partner of the industry. We want to be the preferred partner for every mining operation and also a preferred partner for international companies who want to service the market in West Africa. We are poised for business.
We've signed a contract with Nkufu Mining Limited to develop this property for them over the next 12 months. You find that we operate mostly in the most difficult areas, difficult to access and difficult to maneuver jobs.
No mining support service company have ever been the headline sponsor for this expo. As part of our 10-year celebration, we as a company decided to sponsor Wampex this year.
We operate in Tapa, Obuasi. The head office is in Accra, and we have growing units in Burkina Faso, which oversees other West African operations. 10 years down the line, and the next 10 years we believe will be even greater.
MAC Partners. 10 years of partnering for success. MAC Partners. 10 years of partnering for success.
Back in 2014, started with the requirements of the mining industry to save cost. Cost was a big issue, and at the same time, quality of service didn't have to reduce. So we started business with that mindset in mind to provide agile and cost-effective services to our mining companies who we consider as our partners. Being an entirely local company, we needed also to beef ourselves up with international standards. So we had a few partners that along the line have come on board to support what we do.
Currently, we happen to be one of the, if not most key contractor and on the Obuasi redevelopment project, phase 3. We've been on it for over a year now, and we have a lot of our technical and artisan level personnel playing key roles in delivering this project.
10 years, we want to see ourselves as the trusted partner of the industry. We want to be the preferred partner for every mining operation, and also a preferred partner for international companies who want to service the market in West Africa. We are poised for business.
We've signed a contract with Nkufu Mining Limited to develop this property for them over the next 12 months. You find that we operate mostly in the most difficult areas, difficult to access and difficult to maneuver jobs.
No mining support service company have ever been the headline sponsor for this expo. As part of our 10-year celebration, we as a company decided to sponsor Wampex this year.
We operate in Tapa, Obuasi. The head office is in Accra, and we have growing units in Burkina Faso, which oversees other West African operations. 10 years down the line, and the next 10 years we believe will be even greater.
MAC Partners. 10 years of partnering for success. MAC Partners. 10 years of partnering for success.
Back in 2014, started with the requirements of the mining industry to save cost. Cost was a big issue, and at the same time, quality of service didn't have to reduce. So we started business with that mindset in
Intermines First Aid and Safety Competition is here again. The Ghana Chamber of Mines, Minerals Commission, and St. John Ambulance Ghana brings to you the 2023 edition of the Intermines First Aid and Safety Competition. Details are Zone 2, Sunday, 13th August 2023. Zone 3, Sunday, 20th August 2023. Zone 1, Sunday, 27th August 2023. This event will be live on GTV and the Ghana Chamber of Mines Facebook page at 11:30 a.m. Make a date to watch how the mining companies battle it out for the grand finale. Come, share your company.
Optics and photos, may I crave on your indulgence to please step forward and sit, fill any of the seats. They are all free now. Anybody can sit. Just come forward and let's have a very nice communal family feeling. Thank you very much. Right. Ordineho Ochirikusi Ntrama Esumeja Manhene Asanteman Benkumhene, who is representing His Royal Majesty the Otumfo Osei Tutu II, the King of Asanteman. We acknowledge your honored presence. The Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Samuel Abu Jinapo, thank you for coming. The Honorable Minister for Transport, Mr. Kweku Ofori Esiama. We will be joined by the Honorable Minister for Solid Minerals Development in Nigeria, Dr. Henry Oladele Alake. Ambassadors, members of the diplomatic mission, CEOs, MDs, directors, industry leaders, and all distinguished invited guests and participants from across West Africa and beyond, members of the media, we welcome you all on behalf of the President and CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Mines to the 2024 Wampoc Wampex Conference under the theme, The Mining and Power Hub, Driving Sustainable Investment Opportunities in West Africa. My name is Shamima Muslim. I convene the Alliance for Women in Media. I am the co-MC for today.
And my name is Winston. I'm the host of the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM, doing this with Shamima Muslim.
Right. Go.
So we now continue with the ceremony and would invite the CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Suleiman Kony, to give us the welcome remarks and the introduction of the chairperson. Let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much, Shamima and Winston. Odino Ochikusi Ntrama Asumajahini and Asantiman Bekumhini, our own Honorable Minister, Samuel A. Jinapo, MP for Damongo, and Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Kweku Ofori Esiama, Minister for Transport, who I believe would be joining us very soon, Chair and members of the Minerals Commission Board, President of EFEDCOM, that's the ECOWAS Federation of Chambers of Mines, Mr. Adam Asoro, representatives of ministers from the ECOWAS sub-region, esteemed past and present executives of the chamber, and I've seen a number of them here today. Thank you very much for coming. Your Excellencies, members of the diplomatic corps, CEOs and captains of the mining and power sectors, CEOs and heads of institutions, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am truly delighted to welcome you to the 2024 edition of the West African Mining and Power Conference and exhibition in our national capital, Accra. A special welcome goes to our brothers and sisters from West Africa and beyond, who will be with us for the next 3 days. While the conference Wampoc will be for 2 days starting today, The exhibition, Wampex, will run for 3 days, ending on Friday, the 7th of June, 2024. Before I continue, I would like to pay special homage to His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, not only for his decision to grace the conference, but to share his nuggets of wisdom with us. We are delighted that he delegated no other than the Asantiman Benkumhine Odiniho Ochri Kusi Nkrama to speak to us on his behalf. We are very grateful. Odiniho, you are most welcome. Kwaba. Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, we are hosting Wampoc Wampex at a very challenging time of the global economy, and especially that of developing countries. In a recent study, the World Bank observed that despite multiple shocks during the last few years, the global economy has generally been resilient. Major economies are emerging strongly even with a significant rise in interest rates relative to the last 4 decades, without accompanying steep unemployment rates or financial crisis. However, global growth was the weakest in that period relative to any half-decade since the 1990s. Further, and quite worrying, is the fact that 1 out of every 4 developing economy is relatively poor compared to its pre-COVID years. Ladies and gentlemen, the World Bank also noted in one breath that commodity exporting nations face a peculiar challenge relative to their fiscal performance. On the other, it acknowledges tremendous opportunities for mineral resources, especially in the developing world, to be catalyzed for development. The bank recommends a holistic approach to minerals-based development. In other words, an approach that deliberately integrates mining into the broader economy. This includes planning physical and social infrastructure and industrial development with the mining companies in mind, not as sources of funds for these developments, but as partners who can catalyze these developments through meaningful and proactive engagements between resource countries and mining firms. Ironically, developing countries, especially those in Africa, host significant mineral resources, including critical minerals. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme for the conference is Mining and Power Hub, Driving Sustainable Investment Opportunities in West Africa. It's therefore quite apt. We have endeavored to reflect in this conference the most appropriate topics that should elicit deliberations and foster ideas to reposition mining in West Africa for broad-based socioeconomic development. On behalf of the organizers, we wish to welcome all the keynote speakers, panelists, and indeed delegates for participating in the conference. We are also privileged to have with us delegations from Sierra Leone, Guinea-Bissau, Burkina Faso, and the ECOWAS Federation of Chambers of Mines. Welcome. We thank you most sincerely for making the time to be with us. We expect that the mix of ideas and insights from mining and energy professionals, as well as the wisdom from traditional authority, will constitute a worthwhile broth to help us address this seeming paradox. Welcome our own Honorable Minister, Honorable Samuel Abujinapo, Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for being a champion of our industry. You continue to lead a charge for us, and I hope I'll be allowed to echo what leaders in the industry say about you for the first time, Honorable Minister. Quote, we could not have had a better minister, unquote. Before I conclude, I would like to underscore our deep appreciation to our partners, DMG Events of South Africa, as well as Events and Projects International, for the 30-year journey. We look forward to many more years of partnership that not only delivers mutual value, but helps to unlock the great potential our mining and energy resources in West Africa can be unleashed for national and sub-regional development. We want to put on special record the sponsorship of several companies without whose support we would not have been able to organize this conference. Mark Partners as headline sponsor, Newmont, Atlantic Lithium, Minerals Income Investment Fund, B5 Plus, and Cummins as main sponsors. Stanbic Bank as financial sponsor, and others such as Rwan Refinery, F.L. Smith, Ngovu Mining, Miwatech, CBG Consolidated Bank Ghana, Protea Coin, and the Bank Hospital for supporting the conference. So exhibitors, we trust you will realize your objectives for the investments you have made to showcase your products to the distinguished and worthy eyeballs at Wampoc Wampex 2024. At this point, it is my great pleasure to introduce the chairman of this opening ceremony, a seasoned lawyer with a diverse background and competencies. He joined Gold Fields in the year 2010 and has been the vice president and head of legal and compliance since March 2015. With a distinguished career in the mining industry, he has a background in law, in economics, taxation, finance. He is indeed a man of many parts. He previously lectured business law and jurisprudence at Zenith College. He is a past president of the Legal and Legislative Affairs Committee of the Ghana Chamber of Mines. Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, please let us welcome Mr. Michael Edem, Akafia Esquire, now Vice President, External Affairs of Gold Fields Ghana, and President of the Ghana Chamber of Mines to chair the function. What I didn't mention is that he is also my boss. I thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. CEO. You're far too kind. I'd really appreciate your warm words in compliment of myself. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Odenehu Ochre Kuse Intrama, Esumaja Hene, Oman Hene, and the Benkun Hene of the Asante Kingdom, representing His Royal Highness Otumfuo Osei Tutu, who himself happens to be one of us and a distinguished leader, mining executive. The Honorable Samuel Abu Jinapo, MP for the, as he calls it, the lovely people of Damongo, our sector, beloved sector minister, Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, who is my distinguished learned friend. The Honorable Kweku Feresiama, who I understand is on his way. Representatives of ministers from the ECOWAS sub-region, esteemed past and present executives of the Chamber of Mines who are here present, and I see and acknowledge many of you here. Your Excellencies, members of the diplomatic corps, CEOs and captains of the mining industry and allied power and allied industries, CEO and heads of institutions, esteemed members of the press, of media men and women, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure and honor that I accept to chair the opening ceremony of the 2024 West African Mining and Power Conference, Wampoc Wampex. As president of the Ghana Chamber of Mines and also chairperson of this prestigious event, I'm really truly delighted and thrilled to see such a distinguished gathering of industry leaders, thought leaders, experts, and stakeholders from across the sub-region and beyond. This conference, I must say, comes at a very pivotal moment for the mining and power sectors in our sub-region. And whereas our region continues to see and benefit from significant contributions of these two sectors, our people have come to expect more value creation in our industry and expect for it to be able to carry on in a more sustainable manner. Both industries are expected to appropriately respond to the challenges of our times, including those of climate change and related issues. And events like this give us the opportunity to reflect and on past achievements, present circumstances, and the challenges ahead. It allows us to share perspectives, explore opportunities, and chart a course for the future of the mining and power industries. The theme for this year's conference, the Mining and Power Hub, Driving Sustainable Investment Opportunities in West Africa, is very apt and truly underscores the importance of collaborating and creating synergies across the mining and energy sectors in our sub-region to drive the sustainable development that we all yearn. These two critical and interdependent sectors need to adapt to the our circumstances and adopt responsible and innovative practices to enhance not just our productivity, but also promote environmental stewardship, social responsibility, and for our people, more importantly, community development. We have no choice but to embrace sustainable principles and practices as we navigate the complexities of our industry, ensuring that our operators benefit not only from our shareholders, but also broader society, as well as all of our stakeholders. Throughout this conference, we will delve into very topical matters, including navigating the regulatory and challenges of our industry, issues relating to innovation, including artificial technology and deployment of technology, explore investment opportunities, as well as address issues of current challenges and current trends in both industries, and more particularly things related to sustainability. Through the insightful discussions that we expect to have, through the interactive sessions and the network opportunities, I'm confident that each of us will gain valuable insights and forge meaningful collaborations to drive our industries forward. And here, I know that for past participants, I'll be preaching to the converted, but just for the benefit of those who may be joining us for the first time, just to put out some studies related to conferences such as this particular one. 95% of professionals believe that events like Wampoc, Wampex are essential to the building of long-term relationships that would ensure that their businesses thrive. In-person interactions like the Wampoc, Wampex has been shown to lead to 34 times the chances of leads manifesting into deals than any other comparable avenue. Brands that exhibit as events such as this tend to be, and it's been established, to be 20% more than their counterparts who don't. And of course, there's always a general conversion rate of leads into prospects into deals that I mentioned earlier. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to our sponsors, because without them, this would not have been possible. I also appreciate and thank our partners and participants for their unwavering support and commitment to make this event a success. Your contributions are instrumental in creating the platform for dialogue, knowledge sharing, and collaboration, which is essential for our advancement and growth and transformation of our sub-region. Please join me in thanking and applauding our sponsors. I encourage all of you to actively participate in these sessions and engage in the networking sessions that present themselves, and seize every opportunity that comes your way, and contribute to the sustainable development of our sub-region, and more importantly, its transformation within the shortest possible time. And past participants of Wampoc, Wampex can attest to its value and benefit to them. And with that, I wish all of you a very productive and enriching experience at Wampoc, Wampex 2024. I sincerely thank you for this opportunity.
And Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, for your call to action. Indeed, we have no choice than to embrace sustainable practices should we to remain profitable as mining companies. I'd like to do a few things before we call on our next speaker. Over the next 3 days, Mr. Chair, we are expecting to host over 3,000 visitors to our exhibition and as conference participants as well from over 20 countries. We are also expecting 150 local and international exhibitors, and you would see them in the foyer, and the other exhibition venue will show you shortly, who will be displaying hundreds of products and services. And as you have mentioned, Mr. Chair, we are going to enjoy 15 free-to-attend workshops to share learnings from industry experts. Having acknowledged our other dignitaries, I would like to take a moment again to acknowledge all the dignitaries on the high table as well. So do please bear with me as I acknowledge from my left the CEO of MAC Partners, the headline sponsor for this year's conference and exhibition, Mr. Seth Quay. Thank you for your generous support and happy 10th anniversary as well. So before you came, we found out that you're the first locally owned, managed Ghanaian company to be headlining a sponsor for this conference, and that is significant. We want many more stories like yours to emerge in the coming years. Not so? Please give him another round of applause. Thank you. All right. Next to him, of course, our own, what is his name? What is his name? Hey, Mr. Suleimanu, it's like we have to query people. Oh. Next, seated to him is the CEO of the chamber, Mr. Suleimanu Koni. Please give him a round of applause. A visionary indeed who continues to drive innovation and impact. We also have seated next to him my own brother from the trenches, the Honorable Minister for Lands and Industry, the Honorable Samuel Abu Jinapo. And of course, our special keynote dignitary, the representative of His Royal Majesty Otunfo, the, beg your pardon, I want to get the name correct. I had to go for a meeting to learn the protocol properly. So please let us once again, with a generous round of applause, acknowledge the presence of Odenoho Ochri Kusin Trama, Esumeja Manhene, Asanteman Ben Kumhene. I've done well. Please give him a round of applause. Of course, next to him, you just heard the chair of the commission as well. We acknowledge your presence once again, Mr. Michael Edem Akefia, President, Ghana Chamber of Mines. Please welcome him once again with a round of applause. You see, is it gender balance? Please, is it gender balance? We are worrying you with this gender thing, but this gender thing is very important. So the representation matters as well. So it's really an honor to also have to introduce and welcome the board chair of the Minerals Commission, the Honorable Barbara Oting Jesse. Please welcome her with a round of applause. And I see Angela Lists is joining. Yay! Affirmative action. Let's welcome her with a round of applause as well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome officially to these 3 days, Wampoc, Wampex, and we hope that you would make the best use of the opportunity and the present through your support. I'd like to briefly also now acknowledge and go through for the first time again our sponsors And again, recognizing the headline sponsor. You may look at it and read it with me. So let's see, who are the headline sponsors? I can't hear you. And I can only hear Mark Partners representatives shouting Mark Partners. Be nice, so. Right, so let's give Mark Partners a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And our main sponsors are? They are? Okay. Anglo Gold Ashanti. Newmont, you will not make your presence known, eh? So our main sponsors are Anglo Gold Ashanti, Newmont Ghana, B5 Plus, and Cummins Group. Let's give them a round of applause. Financial sponsors. It's participatory democracy. Financial sponsors. Stanbic Bank. Medical sponsors. If you can't see like me, let me read from here. It's the Bank Hospital. Let's give them a round of applause as well. And our security sponsor is... Oh, I can't hear you. Huh? Did you hear him? So our security sponsor is Protea Coin. Please, let's give all of them a round of applause. And of course, I will acknowledge more of our supporters and other sponsors in the course of the program. Now, though, let me welcome and invite to deliver his remarks our headline sponsor, Mr. Seth Quay, CEO, Mark Partners Group, please.
Thank you, Samima, and thank you, Sule and the Chamber, for this opportunity. Odino Ochre Kusi Chama, representing His Royal Highness Otumfuo Setutu as special guest speaker, the Honorable Minister of Lands, Honorable Samuel Abu Jinapur, the CEO of the Ghana Minerals Commission and Chamber, and Ghana Chamber of Mines, ministers and representatives from the West African mining industry, CEOs and MDs of various companies and mining companies gathered here. Ladies and gentlemen, all other protocols observed. Good morning once again. When I entered the hall this morning, I had a church service in mind because for us at Mark Partners, being 10 years old was very significant, and I want to give thanks to God. So whilst I read my speech, I pray that you guys pray in your heart for us. Good morning and welcome to this year's West African exhibition. It is an honor to stand before you today representing Mark Partners Group as we celebrate not only the advancement in the mining industry, but also our own milestone, 10 years anniversary as a trusted partner in the mine support services industry. As founder and CEO of Mark Partners Group, I am immensely proud of the journey that we've taken over the past decade. From a humble beginning to becoming a significant player, if I should say so myself, in the West African mining sector, we have consistently strived for excellence and innovation in everything we do. Our vision is to lead the way in mine support services in West Africa. Our mission at Mark Partners Group is to provide unparalleled support to the mining industry in West Africa and beyond. We are dedicated to delivering top-tier technical sales, engineering and construction, consultancy, and training services to the unique needs of the mining industry. Through an unwavering commitment to innovation and collaborations, through skills and knowledge transfer, we aim to be the trusted partner that enables sustainable success of our clients. We endeavor to contribute to the growth and prosperity of mining sector in West Africa while fostering global partnerships built on engineering excellence. By the way, some slides are going through, so you should be watching them. I wanted to do two things at the same time, speak and present. We understand the critical role and quality plays in the mining industry, and our commitment to excellence ensures that our clients receive the best possible support for their operations. As a technical sales company, we pride ourselves in delivering aftermarket services at OEM quality. As a full-fledged engineering solution provider,
We help mining industries and mining industry companies solve their engineering challenges by using our multidisciplinary divisions to consult, design, manage, and manufacture solutions in order for our customers to succeed in their business operations. We help to avoid the one-size-fits-all pitfalls, which is an engineering hazard. Through our Technical Training Institute, we are nurturing future talents. We are dedicated to raising the benchmarks and shaping the future of mining skills in West Africa. Our slogan is partnering for success. We find that to be at the heart of any sustainable development. For us, it is a testament of the chosen topic for this Wampex, driving sustainable development opportunities in West Africa. It is also the reason that we elected to be a headline sponsor in this year's Wampex, which coincided with our 10th anniversary as a local content advocate. Our philosophy is anchored on collaboration for success, where success is defined by us as the customer's satisfaction. We anchor primarily Ghanaian and African resources for the development of mining in West Africa. But our advocacy for local content it's not just in Ghana, it goes beyond Ghana. We recognize that in the increasingly interconnected world, local is continental before global. That is why we are supportive of initiatives such as AFTA, that's the African Continental Trade Area, which represents unprecedented opportunities for local businesses to expand their reach and impact the continent. Our success to date is anchored in an invaluable continental network of technical specialists, engineering and manufacturing resources, and service providers. It covers the broad areas of structural integrity services, technical and compliance auditing, specialty fabrications, slurry and fluid technologies, etc. And this ensures that we are able to meet the diverse needs of our clients with precision and expertise. At this exhibition, we have a few of our African partners joining us. We have Patterson & Cook Consulting Engineers from South Africa, Aranzu Pty, also from South Africa, Enviropox Pty, Abiware Components, Prima Industries Pty, and other partners who are not present here, but I wish to mention, are Cross Consult from Sweden, Yilmaz Processing Technology from Turkey, and Tejo Industries, an Indian establishment. We have access to a host of other global expertise not present here that complement our local expertise. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to mention a few achievements and milestones along our 10-year journey. We currently have and run a vendor held inventory in Takwa, turning around over $1 million of spare parts regularly. So clients that patronize us are short of smooth operations. We are currently operate our own warehouse facility in Takwa on over 12,000 square meters of land. We have since 2021 annexed a 5,600 square meter workshop complex in Obuasi for our operations. Half of that is under roof, and we are currently developing the place for our engineering center. In this period, we have designed from concept to development and supplied, installed, and commissioned complete crushing plants. We were also the key contractors in the Obuasi redevelopment project, phase 2, including the complete refurbishment of 3 mills in their grinding circuit, construction and installation of other surface and underground infrastructure. Currently, we are still participating in that project in phase 3. I would like to add that we were the first indigenous company to deliver on underground and shaft equipment services in Ghana. I think that was worth mentioning. We have also conducted mine-wide structural integrity assessments and compliance for 3 mining companies, 2 in Ghana and 1 in Guinea. We've provided 3-year-long site-based maintenance service for a gold mine in Guinea. And currently, we have just been awarded an EPC contract for the rehabilitation of a gold mine from 50 tons to 100-ton capacity. That's what is keeping us busy right now. These modest achievements only seek to announce our entrance into the engineering scene in mining. Our ambition is to be the leader in all mine support services across industry and in West Africa. Now, a bit of our local content commitment. A key part of our founding principle as a company was to leave a legacy on the mining landscape through providing cost saving to the industry by localizing critical expertise through technology and knowledge transfers. However, our commitment extends beyond just providing top-notch services. As outlined above, we are deeply invested in the growth and development of the communities and economies in which we operate, particularly in Ghana. We have therefore embarked on some significant initiatives. Local manufacturing. Since inception, our medium to long-term goal was to begin local manufacturing of as many of the products that we traded in. I'm happy to announce that within the 10 years, this has already become a reality. In 2021, with technical support from our suppliers, we started the local production of crusher backing compound under our own brand name, Mac Partners, which is being patronized by a lot of the mining companies. Today, for example, we are launching the second phase of that project. And in partnership with the same supplier, we are expanding our mixing facility in Takwa to produce other epoxy-based wearing compounds that are used in the mining industry. And also, we're setting up a complete unit for the application of these products in wear protection in several areas in mining. Secondly, we are presently in the installation phase of another production facility. This is also in Obuasi to produce diverse rubber products to the mining industry. This will include mill lining components, screening media, wear protection components. Installation is about 70% done, completed. It is estimated to produce about 50 tons capacity daily, with technical support again from our current suppliers out of South Africa. We expect to start production in Q4 of this year. The most exciting thing about this production project is that we are going to be using locally processed rubber, right from our farms here. We mix the rubber, produce it, and the products will come out. So we are hoping that the mining industry will support us when that gets. Another key one is human capital development. Another significant milestone in our Sustainable Development Initiative was the establishment of our wholly owned Mac Partners Training Institute in 2021. This was following an MOU with Anglo-Gold Ashanti Obuasi, which birthed the Mac Partners Training Institute. Capitalizing on the laurels of the ex-Wild Ashanti Goldfields Engineering Training Center, we are seeking to establish a center of excellence for engineering in Obuasi. We believe that Obuasi being basically the historical focus of mining in West Africa, it is important that some legacy at least is left on that footprint. We will anchor the training of and development of critical manpower as required by the mining industry. With participation from internationally acclaimed training institutes, we are, one, implementing internationally proven processes at MPTI, which are linked to ISO 9001 best practices. Building the capacity of our local trainers through Trainer of Trainers initiatives. We are building relationships with institutions and regulators to offer bridging programs and national accreditation standards for the mining industry. We are rolling out trade testing and certification of all training and major quality standards with annual audits from our international partners. By Q1 2025, we are seeking to establish an internationally approved welding training and testing facility in Obuasi. Skills are at the heart of sustainable development. Both contractors like us and our clients, the mining operations, require skills to operate. Without the pool of right skills, Ghana cannot achieve the goal of becoming the hub of mine support services in West Africa, which I know is a vision of the Honorable Minister, which he keeps touting. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why we are advocating for two key initiatives. We have discussed with the Chamber and with the Minerals Commission for some standardization in mining industry training. We have presented a paper and it's under consideration. Also, we have thought that there should be some viable categorization of local contractors and service providers in a way that would empower each party appropriately. You would all agree that contractors are not the same, neither are service providers. So for us, Human Capital Initiative is a corporate social investment that the industry needs to embrace if we are to drive sustainable development opportunities in West Africa, because manpower is what drives all that. Now, to address this year's theme, the theme actually embodies our collective commitment to forging a path towards a more sustainable future for mining. And it is through the lens of local content that we can realize this vision. Local content policies across Africa, in any country at all, stand on the cornerstone of the quest for sustainability. It's not merely a regulatory framework, but a catalyst for transformative change. Aligning with the very essence of our conference theme, a well-crafted local content framework holds the promise of shaping the future trajectory of our sector, fostering resilience and driving long-term prosperity. To achieve this, however, we must first recognize the interconnectedness of the stakeholders within the mining ecosystem. From the operating mines to us, the suppliers and contractors and regulators, each of us play a vital role in ensuring the success of each other and within the local context. It is imperative that we cultivate that strong, mutually beneficial relationship, fostering collaboration and synergy that will amplify the impact of our collective efforts. Let's just imagine a situation where the potential of the industry that can sustain itself, where the growth of us, the service providers, is intricately linked to the success of our esteemed clients, the mining companies. Well-supported and structured mining support services, and a regulatory frame that acknowledges the investments that each party has made. Yet, as it stands now, there is a lack of defined structure which impedes progress. There seems to be a lowest common denominator approach when it comes to contractors, especially in our face. The tendency to treat everybody the same, and therefore price becomes king. If 3 people come together to say and call themselves a contractor, they will compete with us, with our other big players, based on price. And that's the services industry itself. We could be an economy on its own, but through subcontracting and stuff like that, rather than bringing everybody to the common denominator. Desiring the lowest cost of service from all contractors, irrespective of size and investments, while expecting much more, while ready to accept much more from foreign compatriots, needs to be looked at again. We must strive for a categorization that nurtures collective growth, reward excellence, streamline the processes, and ultimately deliver success to our clients. In parallel, we must also turn on attention to the development of local contractors, because these are basically the backbone of the industry. The mining operations themselves cannot survive without the contractors. Local content is not merely an obligation, but opportunity for collaboration and empowerment. By leveraging the collective expertise of the states, the clients, industry players, we can unlock the full potential of the services industry. Through strategic partnerships and deliberate investments, we can facilitate the transfer of technology and skills and knowledge, driving sustainable growth and development. For us in MAC Partners, that is something that we have seen the benefits of. Partnerships, therefore, lie at the heart of sustainable growth, whether through joint ventures, strategic alliances, or technical partnerships. It is essential in achieving the shared objectives. Together, we can create the ecosystem that fosters innovation, empower companies, and then make our mining industry succeed, as well as the economies, the communities in which we work. But to truly harness this potential, we must go beyond ad hoc initiatives and develop a comprehensive national strategy for entrepreneurial development. I think there are other countries as well which I've observed are doing this quite well. We are doing well too, but there's a lot more we can do to put some structure to it. Such strategy will be forward-looking and inclusive, spotlighting opportunities and facilitating access to capital, and paving the way for the growth of the industry. In conclusion, we'd like to reaffirm our commitment to advocating local content initiatives as a cornerstone for sustainable development of mining in West Africa mining sector. Together, we can chart a course towards the future. Together, we can chart a course towards a future that is not only prosperous, but also resilient and inclusive for all. Let me close by sharing with you the MAC Partners Group care values. Our four main core values: continuous improvement. That's just our mentality. We strive to do better on every job, in every situation. We try to develop the people within our company. And I think that's a good trait for every organization. Accountability. We do not walk away from a work till it is done, until the customer is happy. Respect, which is our third value. We value everyone, our team and our customers, and we serve with integrity. The last but not the least is excellence. We will provide superior service no matter the size and complexity of the job that is entrusted to us. Thank you very much.
We can definitely do better. Let's give another round of applause. So I like the four core values: excellence, respect, accountability, and continuous improvement. But of course, also that you're committed to always ensuring that you build your human resource. And he talks about the fact that local content should just not be a regulatory thing, but should be a catalyst for development. And I'm sure for all of you, the multinational companies that are here, you know what to do. Thank you very, very much, Seth Quay. CEO of MAC Partners, our headline sponsor. Now, let me also acknowledge other sponsors. Atlantic Lithium. Let's give a round of applause. Rand Refinery. FLS. Nguvu Mining Limited. Minerals Income Investment Fund. Thank you. Now, our next speaker is a 68-year-old technocrat and activist who was a former commissioner for information and strategy in Lagos between 1999 to 2007. Under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was then the executive governor of Lagos State. But upon assumption of office of Bola Tinubu in May 2023, he appointed him as special advisor on special duties, communications, and strategy before he was nominated as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and deployed to the Ministry of Solid Minerals. Now, his 7-point agenda is what all of us should be interested in. 1, establish the Nigerian Solid Minerals Corporation Limited, which shall be private sector driven, enter joint ventures with mining multinationals, invest in big data gathering on specific priority minerals and their deposits, integrate illegal miners to join artisanal cooperatives. I'm sure something that all of us know is very, very important. Mine Surveillance Task Force and Mines Police, and a comprehensive review of all mining licenses, and most importantly, creation of 6 mineral processing centers to focus on value addition. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Honorable Dr. Oladele Henry Alake, who is Honorable Minister of Solid Minerals Development in Nigeria, who joins us via video.
It is with great pleasure and a profound sense of duty that I stand before these distinguished gatherings to participate in the 2024 West African Mining and Power Conference and Exhibition. I wish to convey the fraternal greetings of the President, Commander-in-Chief of the and the material for electronic devices. I believe this platform will give us opportunities to share our experiences, forge collaborations, and chart a path towards sustainable growth and shared prosperity. Nigeria and others, and across the West African region for the good of our region. We recognize that our collective efforts are essential in harnessing the full potential of our natural resources and driving investment opportunities that will increase our gross domestic product and for the ultimate benefit of our people. Over the next 2 days, we will engage in insightful discussion, share expertise, and explore opportunities for collaboration. A series of panel sessions and strategies to enhance our industries. I'm particularly eager to hear from the diverse array of speakers and to contribute to these important conversations. On our part in Nigeria, our nation has made significant strides in developing a robust framework that promotes sustainable mining practices, enhances investment climate, and ensures that the benefits of our mineral wealth are broadly shared. We are eager to share our journey and learn from the experiences of our neighbors. I would like to underscore Nigeria's commitment to fostering Africa as a whole. Together, we can build a future where our mining and power sectors are not only drivers. I want to thank you for the warm welcome and the opportunity to be part of this significant event. And let us make the most of our time here and work towards a future filled with prosperity and progress for all our nations. Thank you, and I wish you very fruitful deliberations. Thank you very much.
Honorable Samuel A. Jinapo, Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, to give us his remarks. Please welcome him with a round of applause.
Representative of His Royal Majesty the Asantehene, the Honorable Minister for Gender, Children, and Social Protection, Honorable Deputy Minister for Communication, representatives of the Ministers for Mines and Energy of Burkina Faso and Guinea, the Honorable Minister for Solid Minerals of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who join us through conference, President of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, and members of the Chamber, South African High Commissioner to Ghana, Australian High Commissioner to Ghana, and other excellencies of the members of the Diplomatic Corps, Ms. Angela Liss, Chief Executive Officer of Nguu Mining Limited and Second Vice President of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, executives and captains of the mining industry, our very respected chairperson and other members of the Minerals Commission Board, conference delegates, distinguished guests, our lead sponsor, who gave a very brilliant presentation, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, we extend our deepest appreciation and salutation to His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II for his continuous interest and support in the exploitation and management of the natural resources of our country, which is manifested in the high-powered delegation
His Majesty has sent to this morning's ceremony, led by Asanteman bin Kumhine and Omanhine of Esumaja, the revered Odenehon Ochirekusi in Trama. We appreciate the outstanding leadership of Otumfuo Asantehene and will continue to count on his wise counsel and inspiration. We are also grateful to the Ghana Chamber of Mines for its ceaseless partnership with government in exploitation of the mineral resources of our country, and for the invitation to address this 17th edition of the West African Mining and Power Conference and Exhibition. On behalf of the Ministry, I welcome all conference delegates and participants, particularly those visiting our country for the first time. Feel at home and take time out of your schedules to explore our vibrant capital city of Accra, as well as other exciting parts of our country. Distinguished guests, the government of Ghana recognizes the pivotal role the mining and power sectors play in driving economic growth, creating employment opportunities, and contributing to national development through revenue generation. Indeed, for several years, the mining sector has been the bulwark of our national economy. The sector has consistently been the leading source of export revenue, accounting for some 47% of our total export receipts last year. The theme chosen for this year's conference and exhibition, and I quote, "The Mining and Power Hub, Driving Sustainable Investment Opportunities in West Africa," end quote, resonates deeply with the vision and priorities of the government of President Akufo-Addo. Since assuming office in 2017, President Akufo-Addo has championed policies aimed at making Ghana the mining hub of Africa, where all mining and mining-related activities will be centered. Today, as the leading producer of gold in Africa, host of the world's largest raised borehole, located in the historic mining town of Obuasi, as a center of mine support services in the West African enclave, with 3 new large-scale mines under construction, and with several Ghanaians working in the mining industry across the world, Ghana is undoubtedly the mining hub of Africa. We acknowledge the challenges and complexities that come with this feat, which we continue to work to surmount. Balancing the imperative of resource extraction with environmental protection, community development, and social responsibility is a delicate one that demands collaboration, innovation, and unwavering commitment to sustainable practices. That is why events like this that bring policymakers, industry players, and experts together are very consequential. They serve as invaluable platforms for dialogue, collaborations, knowledge sharing, capacity building, and partnership formation. These endeavors are essential for advancing our collective goals of sustainable development. In the next 3 days, we have the opportunity to explore strategies and solutions that allow us to harness the potential of our natural resources while protecting our environment and the lives and livelihoods of the millions of people who depend on the environment for subsistence. This requires close collaboration among government agencies, industry players, civil society, and local communities to ensure that our extractive activities benefit all stakeholders while safeguarding the interests of future generations. To this end, the government of Ghana continues to implement policies and programs designed to create an enabling environment to drive sustainable investment in responsible mining and power generation. We are investing in infrastructure to decentralize the operations of the Minerals Commission, the regulator of the sector, to make it more efficient in regulating and monitoring mining operations. This afternoon, I am happy to announce that I have the singular privilege of commissioning a new office complex for the Minerals Commission at Akimoda in the Eastern region to serve the needs of the mining people in that area. An 8-story multi-purpose building with a mining laboratory and a museum in Kumasi, a 5-story complex in Tamale, a 3-story building in Bole, and many other infrastructural developments are all scheduled to be commissioned this year. We are poised to take the regulatory mandate of the Minerals Commission to where mining actually takes place, thereby promoting efficiency in service delivery and effective monitoring of mining operations. We continually review and update our regulatory frameworks to promote transparency, accountability, and good governance within the sector. And we actively engage with industry players, including the Ghana Chamber of Mines, which we recognize as our natural partners in the exploitation and management of our mineral resources, to encourage investment in sustainable technologies, practices, and initiatives that enhance operational efficiency and mitigate environmental impacts. Recognizing the importance of exploration as the lifeblood of mining, we are promoting investment in exploration to uncover new mineral reserves and sustain the long-term viability of our mining industry. We are, for example, working with the Ghana Revenue Authority and the Ghana Chamber of Mines under the guidance of government's economic management team to explore the best framework for treating critical inputs such as value-added tax, VAT, on exploration. If properly structured, it will reduce the financial burden on exploration companies, making it more attractive to invest in exploration while safeguarding the nation's interests. These initiatives underscore our commitment to creating a conducive environment for exploration investment and promoting the discovery of new mineral reserves. By incentivizing exploration, we aim to unlock the full potential of Ghana's mineral wealth, create employment opportunities, and stimulate economic growth in the mining sector and beyond. And to ensure that Ghanaians, who are by our national constitution the owners of our mineral resources, benefit fully from these resources, we are putting in place measures to promote beneficiation and value addition, as well as local content and local participation in the industry. We have therefore, through a public-private partnership, constructed a 400-kilogram capacity gold refinery to refine the gold we produce and work on a $450 million manganese refinery will commence in August. We are also in the process of enacting legislative instrument pursuant to Section 28 of the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development Corporation Act 2018, Act 976, to restrict the export of bauxite in its raw form. This will enable us leverage on our over 900 million metric tons of bauxite resources to build an integrated aluminium industry here in Ghana. In the area of local content and local participation, we are working with the Ghana Chamber of Mines to ensure that Ghanaians own and participate fully across the value chain of the mining industry. Last month, for example, the first and only company licensed to mine lithium in Ghana, Atlantic Lithium Limited, listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange with over 600 million ordinary shares to give Ghanaians the opportunity to own part of this company and its operations. We are confident that in the next few years, more of the members of the chamber will list on the Ghana Stock Exchange to give Ghanaians a share in these operations and businesses. Reasonable and substantial indigenization of the Ghanaian mining industry is in our collective interest. We must pursue this together. Many of us should know that the successes we have made have been with the active collaboration of the Ghana Chamber of Mines and its members, both individually and collectively. We must therefore cherish our relationship and appreciate that we are not adversaries, but partners working towards the same goal of exploiting our mineral resources for the benefit of all stakeholders. I salute my good friend, the dynamic and ever-present Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Mr. Suleiman Akoni, for his leadership and solidarity, even though he can be a pain in the neck when he's pursuing you to get things done for the chamber, albeit ultimately for the good of all of us. We must continue to work together. Distinguished guests, we must continue to work together to overcome the challenges that confront the industry, including the issue of illicit financial flows. While the recent report by Integrated Social Development Center, ISODIC, and the global financial integrity that our country loses millions of dollars through illicit financial flows in the gold industry is disturbing. It confirms previous reports that the extractive sector continues to be the major contributor to illicit financial flows from the African continent. As we work to drive sustainable investment opportunities, we must ensure that these investments benefit host communities who bear the immediate consequences of our operations. Distinguished guests, Africa, as home to 30% of the world's mineral reserves, including 91% of the platinum group of metals, 79% of phosphate rock, 53% of cobalt, 46% of manganese, 35% of chromite, 25% of bauxite, 21% of graphite, 6% of copper, and a substantial deposit of other minerals like lithium, iron ore, and rare earth elements, is ready to promote optimal exploitation of these mineral resources to underpin broad-based sustainable growth and socio-economic development in accordance with the noble objectives of the African mining vision. We are determined to jettison the age-old policy of, quote, dig and ship, end quote, and embrace a framework that advances value addition and beneficiation. Your Royal Highness, Nana Esumaja Manhini, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, Chief Executive President and Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, conference, delegates, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. In conclusion, ensuring sustainable national development is not just a choice. It is a responsibility we owe to our people and the planet. This conference gives us another golden opportunity to renew our commitment to this worthy cause through sustainable investment in the mining and power sectors of our country. Let us, therefore, seize this unique opportunity to deepen our understanding, broaden our perspectives, and strengthen our partnerships to build a more prosperous, equitable, and sustainable future for all. For us, as managers of our natural resources, we will continue to work to adopt a common position on the exploitation and management of these resources and discharge our duties with dedication, competence, integrity, transparency, candor, and utmost good faith for the benefit of our people. Ghana, as the beacon of democracy in Africa, where the rule of law and the principles of democratic accountability are ingrained into her body politic, and with her open society, vibrant economy, and resilient democratic institutions, is ready to work with all stakeholders to leverage on our resources to leapfrog our development. We call on all of you, industry players, to partner us on this exciting journey. Indeed, we can do this together, and let's do it. I thank you for your attention, and I wish you fruitful deliberations moving forward. Thank you very much.
We can definitely do better. Thank you very much, Samuel Abu-Jinapa, who is Minister in charge of Lands and Natural Resources, saying, indeed, we can do it and we must do it. I'm excited you talk about the fact that your government, or the government that you're part of, is putting in place measures to explore and exploit more natural resources, but most importantly, ensure that there's value addition in Ghana. Before we get to the keynote address of the guest speaker, let me acknowledge the presence of Her Excellency Bernice Owen, who is the Australian High Commissioner to Ghana. I also acknowledge the presence of Her Excellency Grace Mason, who is the South African High Commissioner to Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the keynote address. And His Royal Majesty, the King of Asanteman, has delegated Odeneho Ochirikusi Intrama, who is Esujaman Hine, and Asanteman Benkum Hine, himself a miner with lots of expertise in mining, to be our special guest of honor today. Shall we, at this moment, welcome Odeneho Ochirikusi Intrama, Esujamahine, and Benkumhine of Asanteman.
Thank you. You may be seated. Honorable Samuel Jinapo, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources and MP for Dabango, who also happens to be the son of Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II. Honorable Kwekwa Siama, the Minister for Transport. Honorable Aleke, who conferenced from Nigeria, the Minister for Solid Minerals Development in the Republic of Nigeria. Omaro Napoleon, Honorable Deputy Minister for Mines and Resources in the Republic of Sierra Leone, President of Evidam, Mr. Adam Soru, representative and ministers of ECOWAS, the president and past presidents of the chamber, other executives and members of the diplomatic corps, CEOs and captains of the industry. I can see plenty from most of the companies that I've worked with. See Newmont, see Anglo Gold Ashanti, I see my beloved friend, Atakuma, and then my learned and older brother and senior, also in the capacity of Bedu, Tony Edu, and then Kwame Adokofo. Thanks all for coming. Heads of institutions, the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I bring you warm greetings and felicitations from His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, Asante Hene, and occupant of the Golden Stool of the Ashanti Kingdom. My king would have loved to be here to do this presentation because he loves such conferences that is engaging in a respectful, in a robust way. Unfortunately, due to other equally committed engagements, he couldn't be here today. He's tasked me to lead the speech on his behalf. And as a mining engineer, I'm honored and humbled to do just that. I must say, my Lord sends his, or shows his appreciation for all those that join him or have been part of his 25-year on the Golden Stool. This year, he also celebrated the 150th year of the Segranti War, where Kumasi was taken unprovoked by the British, and artifacts were looted and taken out of Africa. Through his good work and the work of some previous deceasses, we've been able to see the return of some of these artifacts. So I encourage you, now that you are in Ghana, for the foreigners or visitors, to visit the Menchia Museum to have first glance of some of the artifacts that were retained. A show of ingenuity of our people. You would wonder, how were they able to craft such kind of artifacts? With what machinery? But it shows that civilization has been with us here in Africa, here in West Africa, and we should continue to be proud of ourselves and appreciate what we got. I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate the Chamber for the good work done in organizing this function. They've done it severally, and for the 17th time, it's still a success. Thank you. Contributions from large companies cannot be ignored. Our head sponsor, Newmont Ghana, Anglo Gold Ashanti, and everybody that supported in making this gathering a success will contribute to future intergenerational equity. I want to situate this discussion from my Lord as this. If we look at the West African region, from Sierra Leone all the way to Nigeria, we find in Guinea, water body, the Niger, that takes its source from there all the way around through Niger, through Nigeria, and ends up in the ocean at the Delta Basin. We also have the Volta River that takes some water all the way from Cote d'Ivoire. Just across, we've got the Senegal and the Gambia River is also flowing in that direction. Source of power, source of water for the mining industry. We have the ocean, transport to get material into West Africa. Obviously, a big missing link, road infrastructure, railway, are other areas that we should look at in trying to harness the complete mineral resources in the sub-region. We should not only stay here in West Africa, we should look through to other parts of Africa, the DRC, where lots of research has been done by the World Bank to be able to harness energy from the DRC all through West Africa, ending up in the Liberia. If we're going to mine bauxite, and I know we'll be mining more, which requires lots of energy, then this is the forum for us to meet, engage robustly and respectfully to be able to make this happen. We shouldn't shy away from the investment that we want to put here. We can do it because we've done it before. And we should continue to do it. Mr. Chairman, local ownership and participation in the extractive sector is crucial for our own development. The reason being, if we own our resources and we keep the money here, we would see faster progress in our development than what has happened in some years back. And always look like the country that I would say I grew in or spent most of my money career in South Africa, where the mines are owned, they're listed on the stock exchanges in Johannesburg. They are able to use that money or resources to develop the entire country. Johannesburg, a typical mining town that has now grown into a hub. Accra or West Africa can overtake that if we keep the money here in investment.
It's young.
We should encourage, and I heard the minister say, we need to start listing on stock exchanges, and I'm proud Atlantic Lithium has done that.
It's young.
Companies that come to invest in West Africa, by all means, should not shy away and should not be scared of doing that. We're safe, and it's good to keep your money here.
It's young.
We have money to buy. If you don't give us the opportunity by listing, we may not see the benefits of mining. Community involvement, very crucial.
It's young.
In the sense that we're going to use the people, we're going to, who knows where the resources are,
It's young.
and are resilient, and are prepared to help. Anytime we get into our communities, let's treat them with respect. Let's enjoy them. Respect their cultural heritage.
It's young.
And through that, you will get your social franchise and peace to work.
It's young.
It may not be easy, but through constant collaboration and talks, you should be able to succeed. Employment, I've mentioned that already, or previous speakers have. Ghana, I don't think there's any country in the world that you go and you'll not find a Ghanaian working there. I'm not saying we should all come back. We'll be glad if they did.
It's young.
But all the same, we have the capacity. And in areas that we don't have, I believe through training and development, we should be able to harness that energy
It's young.
for the people to help us meet the challenges in the mining industry. We are all getting clever now in terms of use of technology, artificial intelligence. If we don't have the capacity here, we can always import, and we can always train people here to be able to help.
It's young.
We are willing. Local procurement, sure we're doing it very well. Through the chamber, we've been able to make sure that most of the materials required to work in the mining industry are locally sourced.
It's young.
And especially when we get into the mining operations services area, and I'm so glad that tailings dams have been added to the categories of works that are left for locals. Previously, medical services and even janitorial services and catering were all open to foreign companies. We need the money. Bring it. Engage us, partner us, and we should be able to drive some of these things on your behalf.
It's young.
Infrastructure development is key, and I think I've mentioned it. With the vast resource of water for power generation, greener energy I'm talking about, and then looking at the amount of sun that we have here, we should be able to harness solar. Rail lines, very important. I'm sure there's a rail line from Cote d'Ivoire through Abidjan to Burkina, Ouagadougou. Ghana is busy constructing one. I wish the Minister for Railways were here to give us some feedback. But if we're able to do this, we will be able to bring down the cost curve, because transport is key to enable us carry all these big, heavy equipment and bulky equipment up north, west, or south. I remember working in the DRC in a place, Mumwalu, which was one of Anglo Gold's property that was acquired some years back. And to get material to Mumwalu could take you 3 months. Because whatever you need will have to come through the East Coast, will have to travel through Kenya, get into DRC and get out of DRC again into Uganda, and then back into the DRC before you get it in Mumwalu. And there are no roads. So we can make it. One day shutdown or one day production shut for a mine, it's a lot of money. We need that infrastructure. We need the security to allow it, and I'm talking to governments on cross borders to allow the smooth flow of mining equipment into other parts of West Africa, through Ghana, maybe, but any country that is prepared to have that infrastructure in, especially north to the landlocked countries. The African mining vision stipulates, amongst other things, that Africa's mineral resources play a transformative role in the continent's development, fostering sustainable economic growth and socio-economic development. The aim seeks to harness the continent's vast mineral wealth to drive prosperity and eradicate shared prosperity and sustainable development. Ladies and gentlemen, more work needs to be done to strengthen the institutions and governance frameworks. And I'm sure we continue to do that. We have policies and procedures that are looking into this particular direction, and we need to make sure we emphasize that in everyday's deliberations as we continue to invest. On the small-scale mining sector, governments and extractive sectors form a proactive part in making this successful. If we look at environmental degradation, and the CEO mentioned that it's not only environment degradation that we need to make sustainable, but it still plays a key role, whether we like it or not. And those are areas that large companies should look at how they can assist small companies to do better. I remember when in school, somewhere in Akwatia, the Consolidated Diamond Company of Ghana used a tributor system to get diamonds. And they did it very well because Consolidated Diamond supported the artisanal miners to mine well, environmental friendly, and took the diamonds from them. We need to have ways, or ask for ways, to collaborate with government, how we can do this. It's always challenging when it comes to safety of these small artisanal miners. But one artisanal miner dead is one too many. We can't look and turn away. At the end of the day, they are mining. So whether small mining, big-scale miners, we're all in this together. The nexus between mining and power is evident. And I'm talking sustained power. If we're able to go into greener power, and lots of it, we should be able to bring down the cost curve. Power is expensive, and without it, we cannot melt, we cannot smelt. And I hear we've put up a refinery, and this is going to take lots of energy to be able to do that. So people in the power sector, look for these opportunities and bring more power into West Africa and connect the grid. That if Ghana is down, Burkina Faso should be able to produce, Cote d'Ivoire should be able to produce, Niger should be able to produce with plutonium or uranium in their nuclear plants. Why can't we do that? We shouldn't only focus on the already existing infrastructure. We need to go greener. As fossil fuels slowly gets out of the way, we should be able to replace it. When I was listening, Ghana's petroleum extraction is gone down. It means that there will come a point in time where we need to double it up through other sources, whether wind, solar, uranium, or any other forms that we can think of. This may require regulative reforms, but I'm sure during the next 2 days in this conference, we should be having discussions on that. Public-private partnerships, capacity building, infrastructure development, I've already mentioned. As an industry, and I'm taking myself out of it already because I'm no longer in the industry, so I can say you. Means that you, the mining companies and power companies, cannot afford not to take care of the environment. Reversing the situation must be a matter of highest priority. You should therefore feel it as a duty and to demonstrate that mining and power generation can be carried out in a sustainable manner without gathering any environmental issues. Do not shy away from this. Tackle this issue with rigor, and I urge you to consider a delegation to look at the entire West African landscape. I know Ghana, we've done a lot, just to understand the extent of devastation to the environment and our water bodies from illegal, or I would say artisanal small-scale mining. I entreat you to commit to a sustainable practice in mining and to respect the environment and uplift our communities. We need investment that not only yields economic returns, but also contributes to the long-term prosperity of our country and the entire West African sub-region. In addition, mining companies compete with agriculture. It's an area that we more often ignore or would not pay attention to. But if you look at the extent of our tailings dams, we compete for land from agriculture. And this is where, Minister, maybe we should start looking at more vertical lifts, properly engineered, and not just go for horizontal tailings dams. Waste rock dams also compete for land. Solution: why are we not remining our tailings dams or giving that sand away to the construction industry for them to make blocks or concrete and use them in building, instead of the sand industry now attacking the rivers just to mine sand when there's plenty sand on our tailings dams? How do we use technology to make sure that the tailings that they're going to take away will not contain any dangerous minerals or pollutants? But that's a source of wealth sitting there. I know we say, well, one day we'll go back and mine the gold. But let's build houses of gold, and we'll all be millionaires using tailings dams. In conclusion, it cannot be overemphasized that government, both large and small-scale sectors, investors, NGOs, all have a role to play in making the team of this 17th edition of Wampex, Wampoc a success. Let's engage robustly, but respectfully. And I wish you all a productive and inspiring conference. Thank you very much.
Please be seated. Thank you very, very much. Odinoho Ochirikusin Trama, who's Esuma Jahene, and Asanteman Benkumhene, who's the representative of His Royal Majesty, the King of Asanteman, Otumfo Osei-Tutu II, telling us all what we must do to ensure that we improve our mining sector. Of course, the traditional leaders have a role to play, policymakers would have a role to play, but most importantly, all of us gathered here have a major role to play. Thank you very, very much once again, Odino.
Right. So, a few housekeeping, I prefer this one. Hello. A few housekeeping issues before we break for lunch and to do the most important part of the program. I'd like to crave your indulgence to take a few pictures. So I'm going to request, please, most humbly, Odinoho, to step forth with the minister as well as the CEO of Minerals Commission for the first round of photos. Please step, Chamber, I beg your pardon. Yes. Thank you. In my next life, I want to be a royal. It's nice, pa. Maybe a king. Or, thank you so much.
Let's see if there's a next slide.
There is a next slide.
I'm not sure.
Where do you think it came from? Right. Thank you. Okay, now may I invite all of us at the high table to join, please. And whilst they are at it, will our invited ambassadors and CEOs of the various mining companies who are also here, can you also please make your way up, as well as all our sponsors? So, representative of all our sponsors, the SA Ambassador, Australian High Commission, CEOs. I also like to acknowledge the presence of the security agencies here, as well as the universities that are here. I see my uncle there from the University of Energy, right? Thank you so very much for coming. We acknowledge the presence of all of you for honoring our invitation and being here. We truly, truly are grateful. So to all our sponsors, please join. Let's capture the moment. It's a significant year, indeed. Director of Photography, you may want to advise on how we want to proceed as the numbers increase. Can I invite our past presidents as well, the past presidents of the chamber, please also join. The line is becoming longer, longest. How are you going to do? Tallest at the back? Okay. Behind. Right. Please, who have I left out? I wish all of us could actually take a photo. And board members of the Minerals Commission. Board members of the Minerals Commission. I'm sorry. Everybody's here. Okay. Right. Thank you so very much. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. So this is what is going to happen in the next few minutes. Odinoho would lead the delegation of our dignitaries to walk into the foyer. There's a ribbon cutting ceremony that would officially open the exhibition. He would then lead the delegation to the Grand Arena where the exhibition, the main exhibition is. So we have two exhibitions. There are a few displays at the foyer, and then the majority of the exhibitions are the grand foyer, also because of the oversubscription as well. So we are all going to make our way there after them. That's where lunch also is at. So immediately they step out, we would also usher the participants in the hall to the grand arena so you can also have your first feel of the exhibitions, after which you would stay there for lunch for about an hour, and then we come back into our break, into the plenary. We come back to this hall for a plenary, after which we go into our parallel sessions. Please, is it clear?
And talking about our departure, please, Odino and those on the stage would use the door to my left.
Yes.
And so for all of us seated, maybe to your right, but that's the door to my left. The rest of us would use the door to my right. So only Odino and those on the stage.
Right. Odino, please stay briefly for one last photo op, please, I beg you. The executives of the chamber, first and second vice, just one last photo op. Thank you so very much, Honorable Minister, Honorable. Yes. Thank you. And it's really very bigger this year. Thank you. We would like to also once again say thank you to all our sponsors for making this possible. Our headline sponsor, Mark Partners, as well as the main sponsors, Anglo Gold, Ashanti, Newmont, B5 Plus, and Cummins, as well as our financial sponsors,